Peace and blessings, YouTube family. Hopefully, you had a fantastic Friday. It has certainly been a testing and trying week for most of us, right? But hey, guess what? We are here. We made it. So give yourself a pat on the back for braving it through, for pushing through, for thrusting through, getting to the end of the week. And for some of you, I understand that you may still have work ahead of you in terms of the weekend. So I certainly hope that you will take the same energy that you've had thus far through the week and utilize it to get you over the next couple of days and prepare you for a wonderful week on next week. Hey, family, I want to talk to you a little bit about fear, right? When you think about whatever it is that you're trying to do, wherever you're trying to go in life, whatever you're trying to succeed at or succeed in or accomplish, what's holding you up? What is that one thing that is preventing you from getting over the line, getting over the that proverbial hump, right? What is it? Is it fear? What the one thing I think is very interesting as we look at our lives, right? We make the analysis and we start assessing in terms of the pros and cons. It's immediate, and for some of us who have been raised a particular way in terms of we haven't had the opportunity to be able to be as free in terms of how we live like other people, right? Some of us come from communities and come from families where it was as if just one bad mistake, even half of a mistake, could be detrimental for the rest of our lives, right? And while that very well, more than likely, was not true, was not reality, but it was the reality of the people who were raising us. It was the reality of maybe the community of from which we come. And so eventually it became our own personal reality, right? Where we didn't, how many of us actually know how to live, right? There's a complete difference. Can't remember what a writer but said a long time ago. There's a complete difference between, just surviving and living, right? And so many of us don't really know, what living is truly all about because we haven't had that opportunity. We haven't had that privilege to be able to do that. Because once again, culturally, if we come from a particular, part of the community, once again, the things we did, the decisions we made, the actions we had, while for somebody else may not be very major, for some of us it very well appeared to be quite different. And so that began to basically just kind of mold our life, right? It began to mold how we operate, right? How we actually move throughout life in terms of the things we do, and in terms of things that we don't do, in terms of the things that we will attempt to the things that we don't, right? That we just feel like that's just completely remotely impossible to do, right? Even though physically we could do it, geographically is within the realm, but in our own minds, right? We've placed these blockers that convince us that we can't do that or we shouldn't do that, right? And so at the crux of all of that, because I think that's all the surface, I think at the very baseline of that is fear, right? It's fear that keeps us, that prevents us from overachieving, from thrusting through and saying, "Hey, what's on the other side? What's on the other side of this decision? What's on the other side of this inaction? Let's explore that other side and just see what exists over there, and then whatever comes, we'll take it as we go, right?" So I don't know in terms of how many of you are challenged with that tonight. I know in my own life, I have, even today, I constantly have to push myself Not as much as I used to in the past, I will admit, right? I'm much more comfortable today than I was, say, 30 plus years ago in terms of taking chances, of living life, of, you know, trying to explore the unknown. Certainly in terms of, like I said, we make those cost analysis in terms of, what the sacrifices are, what the consequences are. But I was their family. I mean, as I've shared in a previous conversation, right? I mean, it took me, I think in that previous conversation, I said something like, um, 27 years, or I think it was more like 25 years it took me to go back to school, right? And so, while I can try to, spray perfume on it and give all of these other different reasonings of things that was going on or whatever, the reality is, I was still allowing fear to operate my decision of not returning to school, right? That doesn't mean all of the things that I would say or use as an excuse were not real, right? I had a family to take care of, I had to go earn. All that's real. But we do know that there are millions of people in society that do all of that and some, right? So I mean, the precedents hadn't been set or established to where if you try to go to work, try to go to school, and take care of your family, you die, right? I mean, that's too many people have proven that that's not the case, right? So I had to overcome that, and in doing that, and put the blinders on, put my head down, just stayed focused, and basically, in 10 years, what from let's see, so no, actually, well, about 11 years, I guess to say. So 11 years, to be able to accomplish 4 degrees in that period of time was just, as I look back on it, quite tremendous, right? But it just goes to show you what can happen when you refuse to allow fear to operate your life, to be the conductor in your life, And so I will encourage each of you right now, start the process and the practice of energizing positivity, right? In the same way that you think about and you garner up the energy of thinking about all the negative things that can happen, begin the process of reversing that and start cultivating the thoughts, the ideas, the feelings, the emotions, all of the energy, all of the vibrations of positivity. And let's see what happens. Let's see if we can flip the page and see how much greater life can be for you utilizing that strategy as opposed to the strategy that we've been provided to, whether it's from our parents, whether it's from our community, whether it's from our church communities or wherever, right? So, encouraging you tonight, family, start that process. Let's begin that tonight. Let's go through this weekend in terms of practicing that and doing everything we can to be positive, doing everything we can to be, energetic towards our goals and intentional in terms of the lives that we want to have, and really just cultivate the level of positivity and success that you want. It begins here, right? You get that mind aligned with your heart and aligned with your spirit. The world is the limit. The sky's the limit in terms of what you can do and what you can achieve. So, hope that helps someone out there, family. Hey, listen, if you would hit that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe to this channel, this community, share this video, hit that notification bell so you'll know anytime I upload. And hey, until we talk again, family, peace, be well.